Hey everyone, welcome back, and let's write some more neat code today. So today let's solve the problem, number of subarrays with odd sum. So a really interesting problem. I'll really mainly be focusing on the solution of this problem. I mean, obviously we do that in every video, but this one's kind of tricky in terms of like really explaining the thought process. It's more about how you can think about like these types of problems. So I'll kind of be walking you through those problem solving skills, at least in my case. I don't know how helpful it'll be for you, but let's get into it. So the idea is, we're given an array of integers, suppose like this one. We want to count all of the subarrays that have an odd sum. So very obviously, there's a brute force solution. Just get every single subarray starting at the first element. 1, 2, 3. Get every single subarray starting at the second element. 1, 2. Get every single subarray starting at the last element, and then that's it. So roughly n subarrays starting from each element, so we get n squared because there's like n elements in the first place. Now for each of these subarrays, of course, we would just maintain like the sum of it and then just check if it is odd. And then we just want to return the total count of how many subarrays that did have an odd sum. And the number could be really big, so we can just mod it by this large prime number. Now the question is, of course, like for a medium problem, the brute force is probably not going to be good enough. I mean, this is such a simple solution. That's probably not what they're looking for. So how exactly can we optimize it? Is there some repeated work, right? Like that's the first question to ask. And how can we eliminate it? How can we notice some patterns about the repeated work that can help us try to optimize it? Let's think. This is where it gets kind of hard in terms of like problem solving skills, because to be honest, like I immediately had two ideas. I immediately had the idea of dynamic programming, and I think part of it is because like of the mod and the fact that we're counting subarrays. Usually there is a way to break problems like these down into a dynamic programming way such that we do counting of sub problems. Like this is what I mean. As we go through this input, we can do something like this. Like here, we can count how many subarrays were odd ending at this element. And then perhaps that can possibly help us count the total number of subarrays ending at this element. And then if we have those, like the odd subarrays ending there, then we can possibly count the ones ending at this subarray. So we kind of build up the subproblems to get the total count. Now, I won't exactly go into how we're going to do this because that's not the solution that I'm going to be covering in this video, but I do want to mention to you that it is possible. And it will actually require a bit more work. You'll have to actually keep track of not just the odd, but also the even count. That'll make more sense when I do cover the solution that I'm going to show you. Now, just identifying that there might be a dynamic programming solution doesn't tell you how to actually implement it or necessarily prove that there actually is one. You do have to kind of go along that path of like thinking about how it would work. But the other solution I'm going to show you, which I also kind of thought of relatively quickly, was the prefix sum solution, because I know that prefix sums are a common pattern that applies to arrays, and it just felt like this one could be applied to this problem. Specifically, we saw that with this sort of brute force solution, it works by counting the subarrays starting at each given element, right? Count all the subarrays starting at that element, count all the subarrays starting at this element, count all the subarrays starting at that element. But we could also think of it in the other way. How about count all the subarrays ending at this element, count all the subarrays ending at this element, and ending at this one? So sort of just inverting the way we are potentially looking at this problem. That won't necessarily immediately make you arrive at the solution, but at least it gives you something to think about. Like you're not going to be stuck just staring at the problem thinking, well, I have no idea what to do. I guess I'll just watch Leetcode's video or like look at the editorial or solution or whatever. So there's that. Now let's actually think about this. So it's very, very easy for the first element to count the subarrays ending at this element. Let's just keep track of, let's say, our current sum, and I'll use white for that. So we have 0 initially, and then we get this element, we add it, we have 1. So then we check, is the current sum odd or even? It's odd. So we can keep track of our result, which is like the total count, and then we can set that to 1 now. We can increment it. Okay, and then we keep going. So then we add the next element. So 1 plus 3, and now I have 4. So I'll just draw that like this. Now I have 4. So that can tell me whether this subarray is odd or even. And this time it is even, so we do not increment our result. But it can't tell me all the subarrays ending at this element. I did get every subarray ending at this element, but I don't have every subarray ending at this element. Now, how exactly could we theoretically be able to count that in some sort of way, assuming we had like an arbitrarily long array? Well, that's where the idea of prefix sums comes in. Think about this for a second. Whatever the current sum is, so right now the current sum is 4, that tells me the sum of this entire thing. And if I want more subarrays ending at this element, I could remove a prefix sum from the subarray. I could remove that. That still is ending here. I just have to remove a subarray that doesn't like include this element itself. Or rather, I have to remove a prefix sum that doesn't include this element. So right now, my only choice is to remove this guy. Maybe if we had other elements, I could have chose to remove those and then maybe removed multiple of them. And so we have all those prefix sums, right? Now, of course, I could kind of do it similar to the brute force solution that we were talking about, where I could try to remove every single prefix sum and then see what is the total sum left over. And then if it is odd for each one of those, I can then increment the result. Sure, I could do that, but that's no better than the brute force solution. We've just kind of thought about the problem in a different way. But the convenient thing is that thinking about it this way actually can lead us to the optimal solution. Let me show you what I mean. Instead of actually keeping track of what the prefix sums were, isn't it clear to us right now that if our number is even, we just want to know how many prefix sums had a sum that was odd? Because if our current sum is even, if I remove an odd sum from the even sum, then my sum left over is going to be odd then. And then I can update my result. So the question is now, how many odd prefix sums did we have that did not include this number? If I knew how many we had, then I can instantly calculate how many odd sums are ending at this element. So right now, I know that I had one odd prefix sum. So I take my total sum, recognize that it is even, and then I can just add 1 to the result. I'll just kind of continue with this, but I'll make sure to do a more clear dry run towards the end. So I'll add 1 to this now because we know there is one subarray ending here. It's this one when we just remove this. And then lastly, when we get to 5, just building up the last bit of intuition, we see right now the total sum is going to be 9. So I can just redraw that like this. So our current sum now is 9. I want to know how many prefix sums had an even sum, because of course, yes, there's this subarray, so we definitely have a +1 for that, the subarray itself ending here, but I also can ask how many prefix sums can I remove from here that are odd, because then I know if I remove this odd prefix sum, which is 1, or sorry, not odd, in the case where our total current sum is odd, what we want to do is remove an even sum from it, because then it'll still be odd. It could be 7, it could be 5, it could be 3, etc. So what is an even prefix sum that we could remove? How many? Well, we can't remove 1. That's an odd prefix sum. But this is an even prefix sum, 1, 3. It has a sum of 4. So we remove that. We have a sum of 5. So that's still odd. So what we see is, yes, we have this original odd array, but we could also have had this one that's ending at this element. So here we would actually do a +2. So we get that. And then we say that the total number of subarrays with an odd sum is actually 4. So let me quickly summarize, or rather dry run through what I just went through. There's a couple more variables we're going to keep track of, not just the current sum and the result. We're also going to keep track of the odd count, the odd number of prefix sums, and the even number of prefix sums. Initially, everything can be 0. Same thing with the result. And then we'll start going like this. We take a 1, add it to the current sum. We have 1. So this number is odd. So we definitely add 1 to the result, but we also take whatever the even count is and add that to the result as well, because we know if we remove any even prefix sums, we will still have an odd subarray sum ending at this element. Of course, there's 0 right now, so we don't do anything here. And then we just move to the next position. But remember, before you move to the next position, we do have to maintain these variables. We currently calculated an odd sum, so let's make sure to increment odd by 1. So that's going to be 1 now. Next element here, so now this is where we're at. Add 3 to this. We have 4. So our sum is even. We will not automatically have a +1 for the result. We will take, though, whatever the odd prefix counts that we had and take that and add that to the result, because we know for any odd prefix sum that we remove from an even number, the leftovers will definitely be odd. So we will now take this one, add it to the result. So like this. And now we will add the last element to our current sum. But actually, before we do that, remember to take whatever the current sum was. It was 4. It was even. So then increment the even number like this. Okay, so now we add the last number. We get 5. We have a total sum of 9. So I'll get rid of all this. It's an odd number. We will automatically have a +1 for the result. And we will also take whatever even was and add that to the result as well, because we know for any even subarray, we can remove that from an odd number and the leftovers will still be odd. So that's it. I know this was a pretty small example. You could continue with it, add some more numbers to here, continue the rest of this dry run to really pound this idea home and recognize that this is definitely a linear time solution with constant space because we don't really have any data structures. So I'm going to have my current sum variable. You could also call this the prefix sum variable because that's really what it's doing. It's calculating like the current prefix sum. And then we'll have the odd count and we'll have the even count. Whoops. And we will have the result. And don't forget the mod. It's going to be a really big prime number, 10 to the power of 9 plus 7. And so anytime we update the result, let's also mod it by this number. And so now we just go through every number in the array, add it to the current sum, and then we will mainly have two cases. If the prefix sum is odd, or the current sum is odd, we can check that like this, mod it by 2, and it's equal to 1, or you could just leave it like this in Python. It's non-zero. This is the odd case, else it is the even case. And then in this case, what we do is we recognize, okay, the current sum is odd, so definitely add 1 to the result, but also add the even count to the result. Now, in the even case, we do not automatically have the +1, but we will just add to it whatever the odd count was. And now, also, we want to potentially update these two variables, so we can do that like this. Here, we would obviously increment the odd count, because the current sum is currently odd. And then here, we would update the even count. And after all of this is done, we can just return the result. Obviously, the thing I forgot was to mod, and I kind of did that on purpose because I wanted to keep the initial logic pretty simple. So the way we handle the mod is just by doing this, taking result, adding this to it, and then we can mod it by the mod. Same thing over here. So boom and boom. Now you can see after running it, it does work. I didn't really show the full code, so here you go if you want to look at it. If you found this helpful, check out Leetcode.io for a lot more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.